Hi everyone, my name is Panassama. I am an economics student at Chiang Mai University. Today we will talk about is Germany facing economic recession? But first, since Germany is one of the EU member states, we will talk about what is EU first. EU or European Union is a political and economic union of 28 member states. They are all located in Europe. The EU has four main objectives. First, to promote economic welfare. Second, to promote peace. Third, offer freedom, security, and justice without internal borders. EU also value human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, and human rights. Now, you may wondering when did EU start? So EU started after World War II. The European integration was seen as antidote to the extreme nationalism. They believed that if they become a community, the future war between their nation will become much less likely. So in 1957, the Treaty of Rome was signed by Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, and West Germany. In 1973, the community will include Denmark, Ireland, and United Kingdom. Greeks joined in the community in 1981, Portugal and Spain following in 1986. Then 1990s, after the fall of the Berlin Wall, the former East Germany became part of the communities and unite Germany. Now, what is Germany's role in EU? Germany played important role for EU in the past. For example, Germany's European policy emerged as a driving force in all states of European unification. This European integration created the world's largest common market with free movement of goods between EU member states. Germany was the largest net contributor to EU in 2017. The size and the economic output of the common European market make the EU a major player in global economy, and since Brexit, it is likely to push Germany and France back to the EU center again. So what about Germany in 2019? Since the EU objective is not only promote economic welfare, they also promote human rights as well. So it led to political tension over the high refugee in Germany. And now Germany facing the economic recession as well. But before we talk about economic recession, we should discuss about Germany background and the benefit for being EU member. Now, about Germany background. Germany is the European Union most politically and economically influential member nations. Germany is the world's fourth largest economy following the US, China, and Japan. However, Germany's economy is based on export of high-quality manufactured goods. So then, what goods are Germany export? The most products that Germany export are first, machinery including computers, which is 17.5% of total export. Second is vehicle or cars, which is 16.9% of total export. And Germany has been the absolute leader of automotive production in Europe and the largest exporter of motor vehicle in the world. The well-known brands exported by Germany are Audi, Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, and BMW. The rest that Germany also export are pharmaceuticals and electrical machinery equipment. So who are Germany trading partners? Germany exports to US and China the most. It is 17% of their total exporting. They exporting cars, vehicle parts, and pharmaceuticals to the US, and export car, electrical machinery to China. What is the benefit for Germany for being an EU member? Germany profits the most from its membership. Its strong manufacturing means it has plenty to export to other members of Eurozone, and this advantage gives Germany companies a competitive advantage that only improves over time, giving German consumers more money to spend locally. As a result, the domestic market recently became a more significant driver of economic growth. Now, we're going to more detail about the technical term before we go straight to our topic. So, our technical term in this topic is, what is economic recession? Economic recession is a business cycle contraction when there is a general decline in economic activities. Recession generally occurs when there is a widespread drop in spending, or as we know, is demand shock. This may be triggered by various events, such as a financial crisis, an external trade shock, an adverse supply shock, or the bursting of an economic bubble. So, what is happened to Germany now is that Germany GDP in second quarter is reduced compared to the first quarter, which means the economy is slightly head into recession. So, what is the cause for Germany economy recession? There are many causes. First is the reducing in Germany export sector, because the reducing in demand, especially in car industry. Second is the instability of UK leaving EU or Brexit. The last is the trade war between the US and China. Germany economy shrunk during April to June period of this year. A decline in export dampened growth according to official data, which come concern of a global slowdown. GDP fell by 0.1% compared with the previous quarter, according to the Federal Statistics Office. That takes the annual growth rate down to 0.4%. Germany is Europe's largest economy, narrowing avoiding a recession last year. The trouble has been concentrated in Germany's export manufacturing sector, which had shrunk from 4 consecutive quarters. Car production has taken the biggest hit, it falling by 17% over the past year, owing in part to slowing demand from big trading partners such as China and Britain, and a shift in consumer taste away from German diesel motors. All this and an escalation in the trade war between China and America has battered business confidence. According to Klaus Deutsch, the head of economic and industrial policy at the BDI, he said, industrial production is suffering from a served setback of less global demand and increasing international trade problems. Companies that supply German car makers, including Continental and Bosch, had warned about impact of the worldwide slowdown on sale of cars. Mr. Deutsch also said most companies don't yet have to lay off workers or make changes, but the mood has been softened strongly, and if things continue, many companies will have to cut back production, perhaps move to temporary work scheme, and reduce output even further. Now, not only the car manufacturer has problem. The problem between trade war is the Trump tariff. The current situation has the potential to get much worse for German car makers. The US has threatened to impose extra tariff on Europe-made cars, something that would hit the likes of BMW and Mercedes-Benz particularly hard. US President Donald Trump recently joked about the potential for tariff at a media event at the White House, but many in Germany don't see the funny side, particularly as US national security has been selected as part of the justification for any new border taxes. Chancellor Angela Merkel has said the threat to legislate Europe carmaker as a security threat came as a bit of a shock. But her government believes the German economy will grow this year and does not think further stimulus is necessary. And Economy Minister Peter Altmaier has said the country was not yet in a recession and could avoid one if it took the right measures. Some Germany-based economists have said they expect the country to escape a recession this year, pointing to the near-record low unemployment rate and strength of domestic-focused business. But with a potential recession looming, the government has been called on to spend its way back to growth. So, aren't a lot of countries worried about a recession? The answer is yes. But Germany has particular challenge. Export account for almost half of the nation's gross domestic product, and it sells more goods abroad than anyone except China and the US. That means it's highly sensitive to the ups and downs of the global economy. The IFO institution closely watched gauge of business sentiment is near a 7-year low, with manufacturers more pessimistic than at any time since 2009. The recent tally of the nation's dominant auto sector have also weighed heavily, as well as dealing with the fallout from the diesel emission cheating scandal. Car makers and parts suppliers have struggled to manage the shift from the combustion engine to the electric motor. If Trump follows through with his threat to slap tariffs on European cars, it would deal a damaging blow to Germany's auto sector. So, what does this mean for the rest of Europe? Germany's fiscal discipline is meant to set an example for the rest of Europe by sticking rigidly to EU spending constant. So the thinking goes Berlin is showing more profligate nations like Italy and Greece the benefit of self-control, but with borrowing essentially free. Some economists argue that politicians in Berlin are missing out on the opportunity to ramp up badly needed investment in transport and communication infrastructure, as well as one measure to manage climate change. A recession in Germany would have a ripple effect far beyond its borders, with many of its EU partners heavily dependent on selling their goods into Europe's powerhouse economy. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great time. Goodbye.